Hi there. Good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to my live stream. Hi there, folks. Welcome to my live stream. My name is Jim, and I used to be a type 2 diabetic. Hi there, folks. Ron got noticed on Instagram, but not here. What's up, Ron? Hey, can you hear me, Ron? Can you hear me just fine? Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Ron? Can you hear me just fine? I think I can. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna try something, Ron. Just messing around. So it doesn't look like you can hear me when I am. I don't think you can hear me when I shut up. Look like you can hear me when I. So what I'm trying to do, Ron, I'm testing a little bit, by the way, but let me dive right into this. Hi there, folks. My name is Jim, and welcome to my live stream. I used to be a type 2 diabetic, and I love saying I used to be a type 2 diabetic. You know what, Ron? I'm going to mess around with this. There probably isn't an echo now, right? I'm going to mess around with some things because I would really like for my microphone to work when I'm sharing just this one screen. You can hear me now, right? I'm kind of testing this. When you have the picture, no, but you can hear me now, correct? Let's see. It's probably gonna mute me for a second. How about now, Ron? Can you hear me back? Am I back? Sorry to do this, but I got to learn at some point how to do it, you know? I want to add a source. Let's see. Maybe that's what it is. Seems like I should be able to share my screen without having my camera. Video settings. Okay. Well, hi there, folks. This is highly entertaining, I'm sure. Highly entertaining, I'm sure. Hi there, folks. My name is Jim, and welcome to my live stream. I used to be a type 2 diabetic, and I am right now messing around with some streaming software, trying to get a stream set up so that I can, so that I can share my screen a little better overall. And it seems to be giving me a bit of a hard time. I would like to be able to, I'm using restream.io. It's a web service, and I'm trying to share a screen without having to have me in the picture. It'd be nice if I could do that, but it doesn't seem like it wants to let me do that. I have to be in the picture every single time, and that just seems weird. So let me try this. Let's go try and share this screen again. I'm going to try and share this again, see if I can do it a little bit differently. Oh, there. But it's too big. So I think that's the best. But I don't want, it's too big. What do you do? It's frustrating. Ooh, I wonder if. Stephen Willard, how are you, brother? Long time no see. How are you, brother? Okay, folks, let me dive right into this. I am trying to learn how to use a streaming service, and it's been a bit of a challenge so far. I'm trying to figure out. It seems like I should be able to share windows, but it doesn't seem like it's going to let me. So let me dive right into this. Good morning. There's enough viewers now that I should be talking to you guys about something with content. First off, I got a new microphone. How does the sound appear? Is it loud? Is it screechy? Is there an echo? Or is it good? Is the sound good? And how about the image? I got a new camera too, thinking that was the solution. Nice. Right on. I sound good? Okay, cool. And how about the image? Is the image decent, or is the image... I know it's too close. That's why I got the camera. I got the camera for that purpose, and it zooms, but I think I need it zooms. This is at 18 millimeters. If I zoom, I mean, it gets real close. So I got 18 millimeters. I think I want to go to like 15. Maybe I need another lens that'll go to 15 millimeters. Anyway, something like that on top of it. Yep. Okay. Folks, let me dive into this, and thank you for kind of being an inadvertent guinea pig. My name is Jim, and welcome to my live stream. It's funny, actually, I say guinea pig. It cracks me up. When I first started barbecuing, I would invite people over to my house to try food, and the group of friends that would come over, I called them my guinea pigs. And we were either going to get really good barbecue or we were going to order pizza. And early on, it seemed like we ordered pizza more than anything. So thank you for dealing with me as I'm trying to make those adjustments. But I promise I will get into content now. Thank you very much. And Ron, I appreciate you. John, thank you. Okay, folks, my name is Jim, and I used to be a type 2 diabetic. And I say that I used to be a type 2 diabetic very, very, very intentionally. I have reversed my diabetes. I'm in remission from my type 2 diabetes. I don't take medication for my diabetes anymore, and that's because my doctor told me not to. She told me I didn't need them anymore. So however you want to word it, I don't have diabetes anymore, and I love to do these live streams and tell people exactly what it is that I do to achieve that. So if that is something that sounds familiar to you, or if that's something that you think that somebody you know or care about might benefit from, then share this live stream with them. And let's hopefully help them get healthy just the same. So with that aside, I'm going to, John, right on. I'm going to dive right into the protocol. That's what it is. It's protocol. It's pretty simple. It is very simple because I think things in life need to be simple. It's probably going to be a little bit of a change in pace for you because truthfully, the pace that you're on got you to where you're at. So we're going to have to change that a little bit. But overall, I think to adhere to something, it has to be easy. We have to be able to accept it, and easy buttons are good. So let's dive right into this. How how did I reverse my type 2 diabetes? Well, I started by focusing on the problem, learning what the problem was really. I didn't understand what the problem was. And once I did, everything came to light. It was like, oh, okay. Once you understand what play to call, if you know the exact right play, boom, you're going to score. And that's what it was. I had to understand what the problem was. And the problem for type 2 diabetes is something called insulin resistance. Now, I had never heard of this in December of 22. December of 22, I'd never heard of the term insulin resistance. I heard of it January, actually at the crossover, December 30th kind of thing. January 1st, I started learning of this. By February 17th, I had a call from my doctor saying no more medications. So it was that kind of turnaround, but it was really understanding the problem, okay? So this conversation is going to be about addressing insulin resistance. And if you really, truly understand the problem, and if you're really, truly interested in fixing it, then it's pretty easy, okay? Now, what is insulin resistance? And I like to start at the basic, right? What is insulin? Let's understand that. What is insulin? And I say this, I'm not ever trying to insult anybody's intelligence. I literally did not know what insulin resistance was or insulin was when I was a full-on diabetic. All I knew was that I had a primary care physician told me that I was going to be a lifelong insulin dependent. And that was terrifying to me. Like, what does that mean? Don't you have to have that refrigerated? Like, how much do I give myself? Do I have to do math every time I eat? It was terrifying, right? So, by the way, I never have ever put insulin in my body, and I am so thankful for that. I had a good endocrinologist who understood what insulin resistance was, and she told me, Jimmy, I got 10 medications between now and insulin. So you're not going on it as long as I have something to say about it. And you know what? I am so incredibly thankful for a good endocrinologist who was able to recognize what the problem is, because giving type 2 diabetics insulin is really making the problem worse. So why is that? Okay. So what is insulin? Well, when you consume a carbohydrate, now that's something like a slice of bread is just the easiest example that I can think of for a carbohydrate. When you consume that, your body turns it into sugar, right? And the sugar is what your cells use for energy. So another word for the sugar would be glucose. So your body converts that piece of bread into glucose, and that glucose enters your bloodstream, and that is what your cells use for energy. Now, the cell is locked. So the glucose, the sugar, doesn't just go into it. The cell doesn't just consume it. It doesn't just happen like that. That would seem like that would be the easiest way, but that's not. So the cell is locked. And there are two little receptors on the cell, the insulin receptors, okay? Now, your pancreas secretes a hormone called insulin. And one of the jobs of that hormone is to act as a gatekeeper or a key to your cell. It kind of unlocks the cell for the glucose to go in. Now, without the insulin, the cell would never get unlocked. And if it never got unlocked, all there would be is a bunch of glucose in the bloodstream, and the cell would ultimately die of malnutrition, right? That's what a type 1 diabetic has. A type 1, their pancreas never secretes insulin. Now, a type 2, that's not the case. When the cell stops responding to the insulin, as in there is insulin in the bloodstream, the cell just isn't responding to it, that is insulin resistance. And what happens next? Well, the glucose, the blood sugar, just rises. It never kind of goes away, right? And what tells the pancreas to secrete insulin is sugar in the bloodstream. So the pancreas starts secreting more and more and more insulin to get the job done. So while we are becoming a little bit more elevated blood sugar or elevated glucose or hyperglycemic, our body is also becoming more and more and more hyperinsulinemic or elevated insulin. And the hyperinsulinemia, that elevated insulin, that is what's causing the problem. There is too much insulin in the bloodstream. There's so much, in fact, that it's causing the cells to stop responding. Now, what causes the hyperinsulinemia? That's what we're going to talk about. What causes that to happen? But overall, if your takeaway anything on this live stream is lower the insulin. If you're able to lower the insulin in time, you will start to promote insulin sensitivity, which is the opposite, right? We start reversing the insulin resistance. And if we can reverse enough of the insulin resistance, we can start to see things like type 2 diabetes go away, right? And that's the ultimate goal. Dr. Jason Fung is a nephrologist. I'm going to talk more about him in here in just a little bit, but Dr. Jason Fung is a nephrologist out of Toronto, Canada, and he says that type 2 diabetes is a completely reversible disease. It is not chronic. It is not progressive. It is completely reversible. What's up, Gary? How are you, brother? You guys, you'll see RZ Teacher for Better Health. Gary here is having an amazing journey on the same protocol that I'm adhering to. So Gary came across one of my live streams, about 9 months ago, Gary, something like that, and decided to give this thing a try and is losing a ton of weight, sleeping better, just all. Okay, let me get back to this, okay? So we've talked about what is insulin, what is insulin resistance. Well, that's when the cell stops responding. What causes it? Well, hyperinsulinemia causes insulin resistance. Well, what does insulin resistance cause? Now, that's a big question, right? This image behind me, and let me explain where this image came from, because I think this will help to, this will be helpful. This will be valuable, okay? So this guy right here is Dr. Ben Bikman. Let's see, right here, Dr. Ben Bikman. Now, Dr. Ben Bikman, you know what? I really wish it would let me. Oh, no. Sorry, guys. I'm just trying to. I didn't know if you guys could hear me when I did that. Did I just go mute on you? I'm trying to get my own face out of this picture, and it doesn't seem to want to let me. You can hear me now. Okay. Okay. Well, anyway, it's annoying that it has to be like this. Okay. This is Dr. Ben Bikman. Now, Dr. Ben Bikman is a professor of cell biology and physiology at Brigham Young University, BYU. And in fact, this is his page on BYU's website. This is his profile. This is byu.edu, okay? And you will find his research interests. Well, his lab is called the Laboratory of Obesity and Metabolism. That's what most people are interested in right now, right? And you can see that he focuses on insulin resistance. He's very well educated, Bachelor of Science from BYU, Master of Science from BYU, Doctorate of Philosophy, Bioenergetics, East Carolina University. Dr. Bikman is pretty well educated. You can see all of the different courses that he has taught. Let me hit show previous years. He's been teaching our brightest minds about cell biology. We're talking about cell biology, right? The interaction between the cell and insulin. Well, Dr. Bikman has been teaching our brightest minds that. You look at the publications. He's been published more than 30 times on things like metabolic diseases, obesity and glucose intolerance, biomarkers of metabolism and glycemic control, insulin-induced impairment. So that's what he does. That's what Dr. Ben Bikman does. He's dedicated his life to the study of insulin resistance. If you go to Google and type in Dr. Ben Bikman insulin resistance, you'll get, let's just see, I'm going to refresh the window right now, 239,000 results. Pretty popular guy. you can scroll through and just find a ton of information on Dr. Bickman. Now, Dr. Bickman has a website called insuliniq.com. If you are listening to me, I can assume that you have either a glucose problem or a weight problem or something like that, or you know somebody who does. This is his website. You should definitely join this website. It will not hurt you. This will definitely help you, okay? Now, you'll see Raise Your Insulin IQ for Improved Metabolic Health. Dr. Ben Bickman, professor, author, researcher, and metabolic scientist. Hone in on the tail end of that. Metabolic scientist. Dr. Ben Bickman is one of the world's leading metabolic scientists. People go to him for information. Now, he wrote a book. It's called Why We Get Sick. If you're looking to get healthy, this book right here will do it. Okay, you want this. Now, Why We Get Sick. Also, I have ordered How Not to Get Sick. And I want to be clear, I am in no affiliation with Dr. Bickman. I do have affiliate programs, but I have no affiliation with Dr. Bickman. I'm just a huge fanboy. Now, if you scroll a little bit further down on that webpage, you will see the image that's behind my head. I got this image from Dr. Bickman's website. Now, the reason I bring this up is this is what Dr. Ben Bickman says we are more vulnerable to if we are insulin resistant. Oh, hey, I think I just did it. Can you guys hear me okay? Can everybody hear me okay? I think I might have just figured out how to show the screen. It's too big, but can everybody hear me okay? Awesome. I finally figured out how to show the screen without showing my face, but it's too big. But let's go ahead and let's pick on this image right here, okay? What I want to do is if we understand that insulin resistance causes type 2 diabetes, what this screen is really doing is showing all of the other things that can be caused or that are caused by insulin resistance, okay? So things like stroke, heart disease, obesity, migraines, dementia, osteoarthritis, childhood obesity, polycystic ovarian syndrome, PCOS. It's the #1 cause of infertility amongst women in the United States. Fatty liver disease. So cirrhosis of the liver is a top 10 cause of death in the U.S. At the top of that list is non-alcoholic fatty liver disease caused by insulin resistance. Arthritis, Alzheimer's, erectile dysfunction, sarcopenia, high blood pressure. How many people are listening to me right now that have high blood pressure? Type 2 diabetes. Of course, we're talking about type 2 diabetes, but we're talking about really a much larger problem to type 2 diabetes. If we're focused on type 2, then we've really kind of missed the target, right? So with that being said, let me turn this image off behind me, and I want to just kind of bring it in. Like, we're talking about insulin resistance and what are some symptoms of insulin resistance. Migraine headache is a very, very early onset symptom of insulin resistance, as is high blood pressure or skin tags around your neck or chest area, darkening or discoloration of the skin around your neck or armpit areas. It's called acanthosis nigricans. It is caused by insulin resistance. Some people may see it on their inner thighs as well. But what if there were other things that were associated with insulin resistance, like bipolar treatment disorder or schizophrenia, multiple sclerosis? What happens when we are insulin resistant to the mind? We develop type 3 diabetes, dementia, Alzheimer's. So we're talking about a much larger problem here. We're not talking about type 2 diabetes. We're talking about insulin resistance. And what I want you to do is start thinking of type 2 as more of a symptom than a chronic and progressive disease. Okay, so with that being said, I'm going to go through. Let me ask a question here real quick. We got a number of people on TikTok. TikTok is, by the way, clearly holding back my algorithm. They're not sharing this with anybody. And in addition to that, we have followers on Twitter right now, as well as Twitch. And I had some people on Facebook that keep kind of hopping in and out. I want to ask a question, as well as Instagram, and I see you over there on Instagram. I'll ask you a question. How many of these things are you currently either medicating or suffering from? Just put a number in the comment section. How many of these conditions are you currently struggling with? Right? That is a big deal. How many of those are you taking medications for? So let's talk about a 3-step protocol that I adhere to that addresses insulin resistance. And if we can address insulin resistance, if we can promote enough insulin sensitivity, then we can start to reverse our insulin resistance. And if we can do that well enough, we will see things just get much better as far as our health is concerned. So with that being said, let's dive into this. So 3-step protocol. If hyperinsulinemia is causing the problem, we want to lower our insulin. This is an insulin lowering strategy. There's the term of the day, right? Insulin lowering strategy. Well, the first thing we can do, what causes the insulin? Glucose. What causes the glucose? The foods we eat. Let's stop eating. And I say that kind of tongue in cheek. I'm not talking about forever, of course. We need food. But what if we were to go to intermittent fasting, a time-based eating schedule? So the first thing that I do at step 1 is a 16 and 8 intermediate fasting schedule. It's a food-based and time-based schedule for eating. Thank you, Tanya. I didn't even know you were in here, Tanya. How are you? So intermittent fasting, 16 and 8, time-based eating. So for me personally, I don't eat any food between the hours of noon and 8 p.m. and noon the following day. That's a 16-hour block of time. So at 8 p.m., I've already had dinner. I don't need any more food. I'm full. If you were to eat past 8 p.m., it's probably because of a habit rather than actually like starving. You're not really hungry. You're just habit, right? So 16 and 8 time-based eating. At 8 p.m., I'm done eating. I don't eat again until noon the following day. Now, between the hours of noon and 8, I allow myself 2 meals. Only 2 meals, nothing in between. And the idea, if you are insulin resistant, as Dr. Ben Bickman says, 88% of us are. That's from this, if you wanted to know where that came from. That came from this study. Prevalence of optimal metabolic health amongst American adults. They found that 88% of Americans, 87.8 specifically, percent of Americans were insulin resistant. That's about 300 million of us. It's a staggering number. If you are insulin resistant, it probably takes 6 or more hours for your insulin levels to come out of that hyperinsulinemic state. So when we stop eating at 8, we allow the entire evening, our sleep schedule. We're fasting through there. What's happening? Our insulin levels are coming down. This is lowering. It's an insulin lowering strategy, right? They're coming down. When we wake up in the morning, water-based products are just fine. Actually, at night, water-based products are just fine. So coffee, tea, maybe you want decaf, of course, if it's late at night. But if you wake up in the morning, coffee, tea, no creamer, no sugar, of course. And we're really just going to hold out until noon. And between the hours of noon and 8, 2 meals. Only 2 meals. Pretty simple, actually. Pretty dang simple. So, and why the 2 meals, no snacks, is because, again, we're going to try and allow those insulin levels to come down as much as possible between the 2 meals. So, who's heard of Dr. Jason Fung? Dr. Fung is a nephrologist out of Toronto, Canada. He studies kidneys, and he found a relationship between poor kidney health and insulin resistance. He thought that if we could reverse our insulin resistance, that it would have a profound effect on the kidneys, and he was right. What did he do? Dr. Jason Fung went to a strict intermittent fasting schedule and a low-carb, high-fat diet. Low-carb, high-fat, of course, if carbohydrates convert to glucose and glucose gets the insulin response, minimize the glucose, minimize the carbs. Just reverse engineer that, right? Low carb, high fat. The high fat part of that's very interesting. I bet you are inadvertently on the exact opposite of that, right? A high carb, low fat diet. You're probably trying to buy low fat mayonnaise or fat free ranch dressing, or choosing chicken breast over a nice ribeye or a piece of bacon, right? We've demonized bacon. Let's go for turkey bacon. So probably on the opposite end of this protocol, right? So instead of that, go to a low carb, high fat. That's what Dr. Fung did. Now, what happened? People not only started reversing their insulin resistance and their pre-diabetes and their kidney disease, but they also started reversing things like PCOS and infertility. So many things came from practicing a low carb, high fat diet. So simple, so easy, and so effective. So Dr. Fung wrote a book. I showed earlier Why We Get Sick by Dr. Bickman. Dr. Fung wrote a book called Life in the Fasting Lane. This book is phenomenal. It is a game changer. One of the authors in here, in fact, had type 2, had PCOS, and was infertile. And through Dr. Fung's work, was able to reverse all of that, including her fertility. Infertility. She was able to have children with her spouse naturally. So, are there any questions about step 1 of a 3-step protocol designed to reverse your insulin resistance? Anybody have any questions whatsoever? Please feel free to ask away. It's a very engaging. I like engagement with the audience. So if there are no questions, I'm going to jump into step 2. But please engage with me. Please engage with me. Let's see. Hi, Twitter world. Hi, Twitch world. Hi, TikTok world. Okay. Quiet crowd today. Tanya. Tanya just posted this up there. I want to share that as well. Dr. Jason Fung, Life in the Fasting Lane. Dr. Mindy Pelz, Fast Like a Girl. If you are a woman and you're going to start looking at fasting, if you want to start entertaining fasting, first off, a few names to give follows to on every social media platform. Dr. Ben Bickman, Dr. Jason Fung, Dr. Mindy Pelz. That's just to name a few. There's also Dr. Andrew Huberman. There is Mark Hyman, Dr. Mark Hyman. There's a lot of these people. Dr. Kim Berry. But Dr. Mindy Pelz wrote a book for women in fasting. Now, your hormones change pretty drastically throughout the month. Your hormones change pretty drastically throughout the month. So your fasting schedule may benefit by adjusting it, or your metabolic health may benefit by adjusting your fasting schedule depending on what part of your cycle you are in. So with that being said, Dr. Mindy Pelz, Fast Like a Girl, is a great book as well. So when you're done with those, Dr. Jason Fung also wrote the Diabetes Code, the Obesity Code, the Cancer Code. They're all wonderful books. Dr. Fung has a lot of cookbooks out. This one here, the Diabetes Code Cookbook. If you want to eat some food ideas, they're delicious ideas. So just some ideas. Okay. Let's see. I'm not even going to ask the question because it's a pretty quiet crowd, but there's a lot of people out there right now that are on metformin. There's a lot of people out there that are on lisinopril, losartan to lower your blood pressure. There's a lot of people out there right now on Ozempic, Wegovy, Rybelsus, let's see, Mounjaro, Zepbound. I was on Trulicity. Saxenda is another popular one. All of these different types of medications. Well, there is a naturally occurring polyphenol. A polyphenol is something that occurs in food, right? We see it in certain fruits, certain vegetables, certain nuts, seeds, teas, green tea, black tea, yerba mate tea, coffee. There's a naturally occurring polyphenol called chlorogenic acid. And chlorogenic acid acts in a very similar way to all of those medications that I just named off. metformin. Thank you, Tanya. Metformin, lisinopril, losartan, blood pressure lowering medications, Ozempic is a GLP-1 receptor agonist. It's trying to get our body to produce more GLP-1. So let me go ahead and show this little bit of information on chlorogenic acid. First off, let's start here. You know what I'm going to try and do? Boy, it just won't let me zoom, though. Golly. Blessed. Okay. Well, so that's a Google screen. I'm sorry it's so small. So what that screen is saying is what food has the most chlorogenic acid? And it tells us chlorogenic acid is a natural antioxidant found in a variety of fruits and vegetables. Studies have shown that consuming foods high in chlorogenic acid can help reduce the risk of developing cancer. Foods high in chlorogenic acid include black coffee, apples, grapefruit, and strawberries. It's all over the place, including black coffee. Okay, so, and you can go through and just foods with chlorogenic acid. I don't even know what this website is. I just randomly chose it. High content. Oh, that's a great little website. High content, coffee, sunflower seeds, tea, blueberries. Lower content, but still higher than most other foods. Chinese parsley. Well, okay, I'm not going to use this side again. Okay, so let's see. Anyway, yeah, that's not going to be as helpful as we jump into step 3. So I'll avoid that website in the future. But nonetheless, you can see that it's available in a lot of different types of food. Now, this is a research paper I found on PubMed. PubMed is an official website of the United States government. It's nih.gov. If you're unfamiliar with PubMed, this is NIH is what Dr. Fauci used to be the head of. I'm not getting political. His name became political. I'm not talking about any politics or anything like that. Nothing more than NIH hosts something called PubMed, and PubMed is a great place to find research. So on PubMed, I found this, the effects of chlorogenic acid on blood pressure. This particular study, it's a systematic review, meta-analysis of randomized clinical trials. And this study shows that chlorogenic acid causes statistically significant reductions in blood pressure. Statistically significant reductions. It's very powerful. And again, remember, we find it in teas, coffee, fruits, vegetables, nuts. This study here, chlorogenic acid improves glucose tolerance, lipid metabolism, inflammation, and microbiota composition. Just think of all the things that it's saying that it improves there. Glucose tolerance, clearly a lot of us want that. Lipids metabolism, your cholesterol, inflammation, and microbiota composition in diabetic mice, diabetes. Inflammation. Now, in this one, this study is very interesting because they say these results were similar to those of metformin. Now, I mentioned a little bit ago that chlorogenic acid acted similarly to your losartan or lisinopril, your blood pressure lowering medications. That last study showed that. I also mentioned that it acts similarly to metformin. Well, here's some proof of that. Here is some more proof, actually, of that. This one from PubMed Central. By the way, all of these research papers are really coming from PubMed. Roles of chlorogenic acid on regulating glucose and lipids metabolism. In this one right here, they've got a very interesting line. Let me find it. Oops, I've already gone too far. Let's see, I've already gone too far. Chlorogenic acid is a novel insulin sensitizer that potentiates insulin action similar to the therapeutic action of metformin. I think that's a powerful line. GLP-1, that's what we're using all the Ozempic and Mounjaro for, right? GLP-1. This study here, a chlorogenic acid-induced increase in GLP-1 production may mediate the impact of heavy coffee consumption. GLP-1. Chlorogenic acid helps promote GLP-1. Now, remember, this is all natural. This is food. This is tea, coffee. And you might be asking, like, well, if that's all that I need to do, why am I sick? If all I need to do is drink coffee, I drink coffee every single day. Why am I sick? Well, you're probably adding some sort of a sweetener to your coffee, and it's completely negating the positive effects of the chlorogenic acid, right? That sweetener is causing the problem. So this is Dr. Andrew Huberman. I talked earlier about Dr. Ben Bickman. This is Dr. Andrew Huberman. This is his profile on Stanford's website, Stanford Medicine's website, in fact. Andrew Huberman is an associate professor of neurobiology and, by courtesy of, psychiatry and behavioral sciences. Dr. Andrew Huberman received his bachelor's from the University of Cal Santa Barbara, his master's from the University of Cal Berkeley, his PhD from the University of Cal Davis, and his postdoctorate work came from Stanford University. Dr. Huberman is brilliant. We need to listen to more of
South America. Was looking at Gila monsters.
This is Dr.
Really
Huberman.
And he realized they don't have to eat very often. I wonder if they're hungry all the time or not. Turns out it takes their blood, isolates a peptide, which turns out to be GLP-1, puts it into other animals, and realizes it suppresses appetite. Amazing, right? Like this is what I love about biology. Some dude who studies Gila monsters. Turns out humans make GLP-1. GLP-1 is regulated by things like yerba mate tea. Certain other compounds, plant compounds, stimulate its release. But what does it do in the hypothalamus? It suppresses hunger.
Yerba mate tea stimulates GLP-1. Now, I want to go over to my TikTok. Guys, I've got an interesting video on my TikTok. If you scroll down just a little bit, by the way, when we're done, go looking through my TikToks. You'll find that my TikTok channel is really dedicated. All the videos really are centrally focused to dealing with reversing insulin resistance. But this is an interesting video.
Okay, a lot of people are into these Ozempic and weight loss drugs. If you're on or considering them, you might want to watch this. I don't know if you follow Dr. Andrew Huberman, but he was just on Rogan and he was basically saying, why take Ozempic when you can do the same thing naturally with no side effects using yerba mate?
Turns out humans make GLP-1. GLP-1 is stimulated by things like yerba mate tea. Certain other compounds, plant compounds, stimulate its release. But what does it do in the hypothalamus? It suppresses hunger.
This is the highest, most concentrated version of yerba mate I've found on the planet. And one of the top scientists in the world when it comes to
Dr. Ben Bickman
did a study on this yerba mate.
That I'll be sharing at a meeting in March in Las Vegas is that this yerba mate supplement called Unimate also increases GLP-1. We found in this experiment we did, the GLP-1 levels went up by about 70%.
70%. And that research was done by this guy, Dr. Ben Bickman, one of the world's leading metabolic scientists, found that a little yerba mate supplement increases GLP-1 production by up to 70% during a fasted state. It's absolutely ridiculous. So there are plenty of ways to get healthy without having to give yourself all of these nasty, nasty, nasty chemicals. Zero side effects, plant-based, fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, green tea, black tea, yerba mate tea is a good one. Coffee is a great one. That tea that Dr. Bickman was talking about is a phenomenal one if you're looking for just a way to really boost it. In fact, when it comes to chlorogenic acid, that tea that Dr. Ben Bickman was just describing has about 20 times the chlorogenic acid of a typical cup of Unimate or of yerba mate, and about 10 times the chlorogenic acid of a typical cup of coffee. So that product is very, very high in the stuff that we need. Okay, and it's all natural, plant-based. Okay, so step 3 of the 3-step protocol. We're at the end, basically. Step 3 of the 3-step protocol is consuming more fiber. Now, we've got a problem across the United States, but really across the globe. In the United States, 93% of Americans don't get their recommended daily intake of fiber. 93%. I'm looking something up right now. Here we go. I just found it. Let's see. I just found it here. I apologize. I'm looking to find, I would like to be able to find that study. And I found it on NIH before. I thought I'd be able to find it. So bear with me. Okay, I'm not able to find it right now, and I don't want to keep you guys waiting. But 93% of Americans don't. I did find it. I could not find the actual study on NIH fast enough, and I don't want to start throwing out sites that aren't NIH. So 93% of Americans don't get their recommended daily intake of fiber. That's 95% of men and 91% of women don't get their recommended daily intake of fiber. That's a huge, staggering number. Now, why does that matter? Well, fiber helps us control our glucose. It helps us naturally regulate our glucose. And if we can regulate our glucose, then of course we can regulate our insulin. That's key. Remember, hyperinsulinemia is causing the problem. So we don't want to be hyperinsulinemic anymore. So how do we do that? Well, we start controlling our glucose, and fiber helps that. So why? Why does fiber help us there? Well, there are two categories of fiber. There is a soluble fiber and there is an insoluble fiber. Now, soluble fiber dissolves in water. Insoluble fiber does not. Insoluble fiber kind of goes through your body like a roto-rooter. It goes through your gut tract and gets all of the stuff that we're not going to use and flushes it out the backside. If we didn't have any insoluble fiber, our body would end up absorbing the things that we don't need in time. And of course, we don't need excess. We've already got access. So the soluble fiber does the opposite. It does dissolve in water, and it forms this thick, gelatinous kind of matrix slime type thing that slows down your body's ability to process the carbohydrates. So I mentioned earlier a slice of bread. Well, a piece of white bread is a 100 on the glycemic index. When you consume foods that are high in the glycemic index, they cause your blood sugar to spike higher and faster than do foods that are low in the glycemic index. We should be strongly avoiding foods that are high and strongly gravitating towards foods that are low. Unfortunately, we don't do that at all. We strongly gravitate towards foods that are high. We're always spiking our blood sugar. White bread is a perfect example. Potatoes, I mentioned earlier, I will not be going back to that other website. It's because it said potatoes, and I don't want to talk about potatoes. They're a problem. So when we spike our glucose, we spike our insulin. Well, when we have the appropriate amount of fiber, it helps our bodies absorb the, let's see, good morning, healthy life in the fast lane. What's up, Keith? I just saw, oh, did you just typed hi? What's up, Keith? How are you, brother? Good morning, folks. This man is an awesome health investigator. Wow, thank you. Was that Blenda or Kendra? One of you guys is way too kind to me. And if you're on Facebook, which I don't think we have anybody other than them watching us from Facebook right now, but if you're on Facebook, give Healthy Life in the Fast Lane a follow. I'll leave this comment up there so you can screenshot it. Okay, so that soluble fiber will help to slow down the processing of the glucose. And so if we, or the carbohydrate. And so if we have that, instead of getting a quick high glucose spike like you get when you have white bread, now we get a slow gradual climb. And if you have a slow gradual climb, then of course you have a slow gradual climb of insulin. And that's key. We've been trying to keep the insulin down. Now, why don't we get enough fiber? And it's absolutely because of all of the ultra highly processed foods. We're consuming entirely too many highly processed foods, and they're making us sick because of it. So if you want to consume more fiber, get away from the foods that come in a box or a bag, have a barcode. That's a great way. Actually, I just posted a video on Facebook, on my Facebook account, that was Dr. Mark Hyman actually saying exactly that. If it comes in a box or a bag and has a barcode, it's probably highly processed. Avoid it. Go over to the fruit and vegetable section. Stick to the outer aisles of the grocery store. If you're looking for supplementation, there is a wonderful supplement on the market. It's been around for 35 years. It was developed by Rexall Pharmacy. And actually, Rexall developed it in an effort to help lower cholesterol and help people lose weight. And then it did. And see, Rexall, what they did, they knew that we had to have a wide variety of both soluble and insoluble fiber, not one type. So they put together 7 different types of fiber. And then there's 5 different patents on it. And it is paired with a multivitamin. And that combination thereof, the fiber and multivitamin combination therapy, was groundbreaking. In fact, the top institutions globally, like the Cleveland Clinic, top heart hospital in the United States, the University of Sydney, Australia, that's the top glucose regular. That's the top. It's the home of the glycemic index. If you type glycemicindex.com, it takes you to the University of Sydney, Australia. Both them, the University or the Cleveland Clinic, the University of Nevada, Las Vegas, Stanford, they've all studied that product from Rexall and found that it lowers the glycemic index, it lowers the insulin index, it lowers blood glucose levels, it lowers blood insulin levels, it lowers LDL cholesterol, it lowers total cholesterol, triglycerides. It works across the board. It helps lower body weight. And that's been proven more than a dozen times. There's more than a dozen clinical validation studies on it. So with that in mind, I'm going to start wrapping this live stream up. I want to kind of transition over to a Q&A. There is a link in my bio for the product. If anybody is curious about it, it costs $159 a month in the States. That link works in 30 different countries globally. The products are available in almost 60 countries globally. So it's not a small time, just started thing. Rexall's a 120-year-old company. Been around for some time. So I guess what I'm getting at is it can be trusted because it's been around forever. So $159 a month, comes with a 90-day money-back guarantee. Link is in my bio for the manufacturer that uses my referral link as a lifetime discount. So what questions, if any, does anybody have? Is there anybody that has any questions about diet? We got about, 17 people on TikTok. We got a couple on Twitter, one on Twitch. I see you guys on Twitter. I see you on Twitch. Say hi. Say hi to the crowd. Very quiet crowd today. You know what I'll do? I will do this right here. Oops, no, that's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to do this. Let's try it this way. There we go. No, I don't like that. Let's go like this. There. Excuse me. I don't mean to cough in your ear. If you should take a screenshot and hit that QR code, that'll take you over to the manufacturer's website. What questions do we have? Oh, I see that looks like it went up through YouTube. You can see it on YouTube now. Folks, what questions, if any? Is there anybody that has any questions? Protocol, food choices, media, like books, anything like that at all? If not, I'm probably going to go ahead and wrap this thing up. It's been a quiet live stream. Folks, you guys have a wonderful day. Oh, there you go. Nancy. almost left. You got it right at the. Thank you, by the way, for the question. Nancy asks, what's the morning routine like? I'm actually in my morning routine right now, Nancy. So great question. So for me personally, my wife and I are both on the product. I wake up at about 7-ish in the morning to take my daughter to about 6:30 in the morning to take my daughter to school. We head out the door at about 7:15. I like to drive her to school every single day. And the first thing I do is come downstairs. I've got an electric kettle on my countertop, and I heat that up with water, just water, to about coffee temperature. I kind of just touch the sides of it until I feel like it's the right temperature. And while it's heating up, I take one of the packets of the tea and I just dump it into my Yeti tumbler. It's a 24-ounce Yeti tumbler. And I add that hot water to it and give that a quick stir. So it is 9:30 in the morning here in Denver. I made this at right at about 7 o'clock this morning. So I'm at about 2.5 hours. I've been sipping on this. I'm guessing it's right around here still. There's still quite a bit in here. Basically what I'm getting at is I will sip on this all morning long. Now, once this is gone, I'm just going to transition into a second one. This is the tea. It increases your GLP-1 production by up to 70% during a fasted state. So right now, I am in a fasted state. That tea gives you an amazing boost of energy. I can't really describe this. It's better than coffee. You can have coffee. Nobody's saying you have to not drink coffee anymore. If you like coffee, feel free to drink it. But I think you will find in time, this kind of replaces in a very positive way. I prefer the boost that I get from this to coffee all day long. You just have to try it to experience that. This lifts brain fog. So if you feel like you suffer from brain fog, how are you, Brenda? If you feel like you suffer from brain fog, this helps with that. It's an appetite suppressant. So that tea, when you're drinking it, you don't even think about food. And I bring this up as a joke, but not really. How many times have you tried to fast or you tried to diet and you're like, I'm not going to eat until this time. And all you're doing is staring at the clock, waiting. That food noise is gone. It doesn't exist when you're sipping the tea. So I'm going to take this tea, I'm going to drink it, and then when I'm done, I'm just going to kind of transition into a second one. I'm going to eat lunch, but what you're going to find is because of the increased GLP-1, because of that increased chlorogenic acid, you're going to just naturally eat a little bit less. It makes you feel full faster, okay? So at noon, I can break my fast. Oftentimes, I find myself going until like 1 or 2 o'clock before I decide to eat. A lot of times, I just skip lunch altogether, which I never thought I would be able to do. That's not part of the system. You don't have to do that, but it is amazing how long you can make a fast last when you're drinking it. So I'm going to transition into a second one. By the time I'm done with the second one, I just feel like $1,000,000. And again, I don't know how to describe that feeling. You just have to experience it. The brain fog is completely gone. It's not there. Now, when I get to dinner, I take one of the fiber teas or the fibers and I add it. The company's going to send you a bottle. That bottle has a little line on it that has balance written on it. Okay. And what you're going to do is fill that up with cold water. That one is cold water every time. Don't ever use hot water. That's a mistake you'll make one time and one time only. Hot water will make this thing like mud. Cold water, and it's technically 300 milliliters, but about 10 ounces. Fill it up with that cold water, add the packet to it, give it about 8 or 10 aggressive shakes, and then it's down the hatch as quickly as you possibly can, and then you eat. And that is, Nancy, that is the entire protocol. Let me show some What I didn't do, I felt like it was a quiet crowd today, so I was kind of blazing through this. I didn't share any. Would anybody like to see some testimonials? If you'd like to see some testimonials, just say yes. Just type yes, and I'll know. There are a lot of people that have stumbled across my live stream in the last year and change that have had just amazing. Yes, okay, Nancy, you got it. So let's see. This is from Michael. Michael found me about this time last year, and pretty early on the system, he sent me this. I got to tell you, I went to the doctor yesterday, and glucose was 121. It used to be 207. I've lost 15 pounds. I go back in 90 days to check my A1C. He said that I am one of the few who actually do something about what I say I'll do. All good signs, and I think I'm going to be okay. How are you, Letitia? Okay, this one is from Josephine. I love this. So Josephine's sister got on the program. This is a really cool story. Josephine's sister, Maria, got onto the program and decided to tell her sister about it. And so Josephine, who didn't find me on TikTok, her sister found me on TikTok. But Josephine, I ended up getting to know by way of the protocol. Day 2, Raz, how's it going, buddy? How are you? Okay, so this is from Josephine, who did not find me on TikTok. Her sister did. Hi, Jim. I just received my test results, and there is a huge improvement. I saw my doctor today, and I will be continuing this program and will not be taking any medications at this point. She will review my test results again in 3 months. So I said, that is awesome. I can't see that. She was sending me images. I was on an airplane and I couldn't see the images. But I was able to text with her. And so she starts, I said, I can't see the images because I'm on a plane. Can you tell me what they say? My A1C went from 12.5 to 7.9. My triglycerides were 2,568 and now at 284. My cholesterol was 348 and now is 146. Amazing results from Josephine. I love that. This one came from Carrie. I just had a doctor's appointment this week. A1C went from 8.7 to 6.4. I love this. Is Janice. And Janice, you'll probably see if you're watching many of these live streams, you'll probably see Janice. She has like committed her life to this, and it's awesome. That's what it is. Commitment and duplication. Just do the same thing every day. Make it a part of your life. But that is Janice, and this is actually an old picture. I need a newer picture of Janice, but that doesn't even look like the same woman. Janice was type 2 diabetic for 20-something years. This is me, yours truly. I didn't even realize how big my belly had gotten. You know, isn't that the way that it works? This is my beautiful bride, my much, much, much better half, Amanda. Let's see. Carmel. I love this one. So Carmel is a funny story. Carmel, her doctor prescribed her statins, and she had said she was never going to go on statins, but her doctor scared her and convinced her to take them. She takes them. She gets the prescription. She starts taking them and starts getting some leg cramps, and immediately is like, I knew I didn't like these, and she quit taking them. Now, I never, ever, ever recommend anybody doesn't do what their doctors say. Carmel said, I'm not doing it. I'm not going to do this. And Carmel just quit her medications. A few months later, she comes across me on TikTok and decides to order the program. Now, this is a text that she sent to me, and keeping in context, her doctor thought that she was taking the statins. She had not told her doctor that she quit taking the statins. And so the beginning of this text really is that, right? So, hi, Jim. I just had to tell you, I went to my doctor for the first time since beginning the program. She was amazed at my numbers. She had prescribed statins for me and said so the medication is working. I told her I only took that for 2 weeks. I stopped in March. Then I explained the program. She was sitting there amazed. I told her she should prescribe Unicity instead of deadly meds. Thanks, Jim. I said, I love this. May I use it in my live stream? She said, yes, you may. I was so excited for her to see my blood work. I said, so how was the blood work? She says, well, glucose was 148. It's now 100. Cholesterol was 313. It's now 153. Triglycerides were 342. They're now 99. A1C was 6. She had reversed her type 2 diabetes. Not sure what it was. She was asking me so many questions. When is your next live? And then dives into that. If you were to start the program, I would really, really, really recommend you hop into the different live streams that are available. Okay, let me get over to some questions. Raz says, doing good. So far, it's going good. Raz, I'm so happy for you, man. And I'm going to be giving you a call here in the next day or so. I've got a call scheduled, so I will be giving you a call here in the next couple of days. But you've already got my phone number, and I hope that you know that phone number is yours to reach out to me whenever you want. What's up, Eric? How are you, brother? Good morning. Okay, Nancy, will this work if I had a gastric sleeve 6 years post-op? Yes, it will. It's going to be challenging for you because your stomach is really not the size that it once was, right? And so it's always interesting to me, Nancy, and I'm not picking on you, but I'm going to kind of use you as an example here, okay? I get a lot of people, an alarming amount of people who come to me 6, 8, 10 years post-op saying, you know, I need a solution because they went to the surgery route and it worked immediately. Within a year, you were down in size, right? But you never really fixed the root cause. And 10 years down the road, the problem kind of starts to come back, right? And so this product will help. Absolutely. It addresses the root cause, the thing that I wish I would have been able to get in front of you 6 years ago. Had I have known about this 6 years ago, that's a lot, right? I mean, it's crazy to me, right? Had I have known about this 6 years ago, but I didn't. I wish I could have been out talking about it 6 years ago and maybe gotten in front of you then. It will still work. It's just going to be more challenging for you. Balance is going to fill you up really, really quick. That's all. It's going to fill you up really, really quick. So maybe we start with a half packet, but I would say we start with a full packet, but maybe we start initially with a half packet before you eat and really focus on the types of foods that you're eating, okay? It will absolutely work. It's just going to be more challenging because fiber is very, very satiating. Somebody with a full stomach, with a normal size stomach, will feel full quicker when they drink this. You don't have the full size stomach, so it's just going to make you feel full quicker. But absolutely, the product is going to work for you just the same. So I would say give it a shot. Expect some speed bumps more than the average person, but that's due to the surgery. You know what I mean? I hope that's a good answer for you, Nancy. I hope that answers. But it's shocking to me how many people come to me 6, 8, 10 years down the road saying it's coming back. And that's terrifying, right? That's absolutely terrifying. You do like this, Eric. You're welcome, Nancy. And Nancy, I'm going to be walking right alongside you. You're going to have my personal phone number, Ras Brupti. Awesome, Nancy. Do you know how to find the link in my bio? Do you know how to find the link in my bio? Eric, love the split screen where stuff you're sharing is above your head. You do like that, brother. I'm glad you do, man. Okay, Nancy. Go purchase it and then come back into the live stream and let me know when it's done. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to walk you through. Everybody's going to see what I do when somebody does sign up, okay? Go do it and then come back in here and say it's done, and I will know. And then I'm going to show everybody else what I do with somebody who just signs up for the product. And I'm not going to give away your information. Trust me. So, cool. Okay. Anybody else want to see some more testimonials while we wait? If people want to see more testimonials, just type yes. Type the word yes if you want to see more. Or do you have any other questions? Does anybody have any questions for me on the program? Oof, that is like right up and personal, isn't it? So I bought some new things yesterday. I bought a new camera. How is the clarity on the camera? Do you like it or no? And I bought a new microphone. How's the clarity on the sound? Do you guys like, approve, disapprove? It's good. You like it, Raz? Okay, Raz, while you're here, talk to me, man. You're 2 days in. You're 2 days in on the protocol. 8274 sounds great. How are you? And thank you. What about drinking water? Melinda, water is just fine. Water-based products are just fine. So during your fast, this is not a dry fast like Ramadan or something like that. Water-based products are just fine. So water, green tea, black coffee. We're not going to add cream and sugar. Don't do anything like that. If you're going to have tea, don't add no sweetened tea, just in its natural state. I'm really going to recommend, honestly, I drink the Unimate all day long. So hope that answers your question there, Melinda. And really, we should be increasing our water content anyway. Also, our electrolytes. So that's something I don't really talk a whole lot about. Let me just kind of run down that rabbit hole. Increasing your electrolytes. So my next tea is already made. It's right here. And I add about it's been getting more and more and more lately, about a teaspoon worth of Celtic salt to it. Celtic salt is a great little electrolyte. It helps us not be dehydrated, but increase your water. And I find it so easy to drink. I enjoy this. I'm not really just a water person. I've never really been. In fact, funny story, I've never been the person who really just goes to like a jug of water. My son, many of you may know, or many of you don't know, my son is a bodybuilder. Very, very athletic. He's chiseled out of marble right now. He's just, I'm so proud of him. And he bought me this water jug that I was supposed to fill up and carry around. He bought it for me for Christmas. And of course, I want to be a good dad and be like, yeah, I want to use that. But man, there ain't no way I'm just going to carry this freaking gallon of water around all the day, And so I never really did it. What I found when I was undiagnosed type 2 diabetic, that was what tipped my wife off, was when I started skipping the beer at dinner and asking for a glass of water. She was like, what's going on? You're broke. What's going on? That was the tip off to her. And so once I got my diabetes in line, that became more manageable, but we need to increase our water. So I feel like I'm talking in circles. Sometimes I talk too much. Actually, not sometimes. All the time I talk too much. So if I'm boring you, I apologize. But Raz, you are 2 days in. Tell me how's the tea? Let's start there. You liking the tea? Are you getting that amazing little boost of energy that you hear me talking about all the time? And looking right now today. Love the tea. And I just checked, you're on my Thursday call schedule. So you will have been on it, I guess, you started it Sunday, it's day 2, so you started Sunday, so you'll be on it for about 5 days. That's perfect. That's exactly what I like to call, is about 4 to 5 days in, you will have kind of been figuring things out, and you'll have a list of questions. So be writing down questions that you have for me when I call. But I mean, we could talk before then, of course, but I always try to call at about that time frame. So you're on the schedule for Thursday. And that's what I do, guys. I really do. I reach out to you. I'm starting to get my energy back. I love that. Starting to get, and that's only day 2. How about the brain fog? Did you have, may I call you by your first name here rather than Rasbrupti? Can I call you by your first name? Type yes name or no name, and if you're okay with that. I don't want to put you on the spot there, but Rasbrupti field. Okay, Justin. Justin, did you have brain fog? Do you feel like you've had brain fog in the past? Are you near a computer? You did. And do you feel like that brain fog is maybe lifting a little bit, just even in day number 2? You are. Are you at work, or can I send you an invite? An invite to join me in here. Yes, it is going away. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Just like that. You're at work, so I won't send you an invite. At some point, I would love to get you on here. I know there are so many people that are skeptical, rightfully so. People are just skeptics, right? They're sitting back saying there's no way it could possibly be this easy. But it is. It really is. Oh, I can. Okay. Well, what I'm going to do then is go here. Okay, Justin, I'm going to send it to your email. Okay. I just sent you an invite to your email, whichever email it was that you used to sign up with the program, okay? And you probably have to create a free account with Restream. You don't have to buy anything to join, but you probably have to create a free account with Restream to join. I'm using Restream to do this broadcast, this live stream. Hi there, folks. By the way, hi there, everybody. Thank you for joining my live stream. Let's see. We got folks on Twitter, Facebook, Twitch. It looks like the live stream is still happening over on Instagram, I believe. Or did it stop? Oh, looks like it stopped. I think Instagram keeps them to 60 minutes. What questions do we have? And I love this right here because Justin came across my live stream, I think a couple of weeks ago, maybe last week, and decided he was going to give this thing a shot. He's brand new on the program. So, I mean, what better person to bring in here than somebody who's on day number 2? And maybe, is Tanya still in here? Let's see. There he is. Justin?
Let's see if it'll work.
There you go. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
I can. Can you hear me?
Let's
Oh,
see.
I don't think you can hear me. I can hear you.
I can't hear you. What?
Oh, I hear me in the background.
I can't hear you.
There we go. Wow, there's a little bit of a lag. Are you able to turn your speaker on your? Are you on your laptop or your phone for the restream? And while I'm here, Chris, I see Chris is in the live stream. Chris, are you working from home today, Chris? No problem, brother. I see that. I was wondering, are you doing this from your home or your laptop or your? Oh, are you? Okay, Chris. Let me see. I was going to send you an invite as well. Let's see. How about DeQueen? DeQueen, you're in here right now, right? Are you? You're not on the system, right, DeQueen? And are you at the office? How about this? If anybody wants to join, let me know.
All right, I'm back.
I would love
It's
to
fixed.
answer questions. There you are. Can you hear me? Can you hear me now, brother? Justin?
Yes, I can.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. I was going to ask DeQueen, since she can hear me right now, would you want to join us as well, DeQueen? And I don't know. Actually, I don't know how I'm going to send you. I just said that, and I don't know how I'm going to send you a message. I don't know how I'd be able to get her, because I had to send you an email. Anyway, I don't know how I'd be able to do that, DeQueen. Well, anyway, Justin, brother, tell me, how is you're a couple days in now.
Yes.
We got a lot of people who are skeptical, of course. A lot of people are skeptical. So, you've now had a couple days on the tea. You've now tried the balance. What is your first impression? Because
Yes.
I think first impressions are you only get one chance to make first impression. Do you mind just kind of telling us a little bit about your experience so far?
No, not at all. First of all, I want to tell you, I found you a long while ago and I was skeptical and just been researching stuff. And then what was it, last week? I decided to pull the plug on everything and do it.
How long have you been
And
watching?
so I want to say since last fall.
Oh, really?
I came across your page.
Were you
Yeah, so
daily?
I was a skeptical one.
Okay, I
was a couple
just fascinating.
times
Actually,
a week I'd watch you.
really? Okay. So there's somebody else that signed up yesterday that started watching, or she started watching me, I think last June or July. So you're not alone, man. That happens more often than you would know. So you were I love this. That actually just added so much more to this conversation. So you were skeptical. You've done your research. Do you mind telling that part of the story? That is fascinating to me.
Well, when I came across your stuff, and I was like, there's no way, because I was wanting, like, I don't like the way the metformin, atoversarin, or whatever, all the stupid medication they give you. I don't like the way it made me feel. It made me feel sick. So I am one that cut it cold turkey off and started taking these natural supplements and stuff like that. And then I came across your stuff, like, I don't know. Then I was like, the price per month, I was like, there's no way. But then, like, the price per month for this, now that I realize and how I feel in just 2 days, is like, it's it's worth it. 100% worth it. There's no doubt in my mind. It's not like the first time I had the tea, the limitation apple spice, I guess it is. I got that one, and they recommend it hot in the morning. So I have a hot tea in the morning, and it's just, it's so good. You just smell the flavor, the taste. It's not like cringy, because I'm not, was never a big tea guy anyways. I like my coffee and just water, really. But yeah, after watching you and, coming across other people's pages, and all right, there might be something to this. So that's when I started diving in, and then just last week, last probably 3 weeks, I've started to feel like really garbage and stuff. So I'm like, I need to do something else. So that's when I was like, all right, I'm pulling the plug on this and doing it.
Awesome, man. I love that. So, so you've probably heard me say, you've been watching me for like 7 or 8 months. Is that reasonable?
Yeah.
7 or 8 months. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So then you've heard me at the end of my live streams. If you've been around for the end of the live streams, you've heard me say, thank you for giving me your trust. Have you ever heard me say that? Thank you for trusting me.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. And I love that here you are. That is crazy to me. 8 months later, and it literally, you're not the only one. This other person signed up yesterday from last July. So that happens quite a bit.
That is crazy.
It is. Okay. Christine is Lada. How are you? Oh, yeah, I know. Christine, how are you? Welcome back. Let's see. Okay, so how's the balance? Tell me your first experience with the balance. What's it taste like?
I had it last night with dinner. I thought it tastes good. And it's like it says, it doesn't say sip on it or anything. It says chug it. So I can do that. I chugged it and had it with dinner. And then after, I don't know, it helped me go all night. I mean, it really did. It helped me feel full. I didn't feel like, because usually, like, after I ate dinner, around 8, 9 o'clock or so, I'll want a snack, and I didn't want a snack. I felt full, like you said. And so I was just able
now,
to,
are you
go ahead.
Are you using this for glucose or for weight or for both? What are you using it for?
Glucose. Because, like,
okay,
I
so
was,
you have a diabetes.
let's see here. Yes, I'm type 2. Yeah. And then I had a weight problem, but then all of a sudden, I don't know what the heck happened. I've lost a lot of weight.
Okay. Christina, you ordered it. Who did you order it through, Christina? I see Christina says she's waiting to get hers. Can't wait. Who did you order it through? Because I don't see a Christina. Unless you ordered it through somebody else, through their link. Okay, so I'm curious. How often do you test your glucose, Justin?
I should test it every day, but now I've gotten bad where it's about once a week, once every other week.
Okay.
So I haven't been really good about that.
Okay, I got you. You're one of those. All right. So,
yep, I am.
Okay, so here's the deal: is people who wear a continuous glucose monitor, I absolutely love when people start a CGM, right? Because when they're on a CGM, they see things just come down rapidly, rapid. Now, you aren't going to get to see those results as quickly because you don't test very frequently. But I would imagine
Correct.
you're just going to start feeling better. But I would really encourage you. When did you order? Let me see here. I want to see when you actually ordered.
It was last, I believe it was last Tuesday.
The 23rd,
Wednesday.
April 23rd. So did you get my email for the Zoom call last Wednesday?
I believe I did. Yes, I did. Yep.
Let me see.
And I totally
Okay.
spaced it. I'm sorry.
At the bottom. No. At the bottom of that, yes, that was Tuesday. So you should have definitely gotten the call, the link to the Zoom call. So a couple things to build upon here. At the bottom of that email is a sheet. And I realized last week that it was outdated. I need to do a new version of it for 2 Unimates and 1 balance as opposed to 1 Unimate and 2 balances. But that sheet, print it out and take your measurements. Right. And since you're not checking your glucose every day, which maybe do start checking your glucose now, so that you'll start to see that thing, that number is just going to get beautiful in a very short period of time. And that's the easiest measurement. That's when you're going to know, like, hey, this thing actually is working. You know what I mean? Otherwise, you're going strictly off of a feeling of feeling wonderful, which you said you already feeling right now. But actually poking your finger, and blood doesn't lie. It will tell you what's happening there. So if you start doing your glucose, but then do like body measurements and body weight. That at the bottom of that email, there was a sheet. Print that out and fill it out and do it, you know, and you'll be amazed. You'll be absolutely amazed. Okay. Lots getting nannered. Call me when you're done. Be careful. Okay, I will. Resistance, Michelle. Okay, are you on that account? Okay, yeah, that's very cryptic. Send me a text real quick, Michelle. I got my phone sitting next to me. Okay, and then the other side of that is on that email, there was an invite to a Zoom call. So that Zoom call is really, really cool. Every single week, the host, his name is Trent, and Trent, by the way, is just one of the nicest human beings, one of the best human beings I've ever met in my entire life. And he's forgotten more about this system than I will ever know. Trent hosts that Wednesday call, and he always brings in a testimonial, somebody who's actually on the system to get their story. Like he brought in Tanya one time. Tanya's story is amazing. He brings in different people every week, and it's just like inspirational. You'll love hearing people tell their stories. It's pretty cool what some of these people have overcome with this.
Awesome.
So he transitions over to kind of describing the problem, what is insulin resistance and how it affects us. But then rather than him go into that, like I do on my live streams, he kind of hands the baton off to somebody who is more socially accepted at doing so, a medical professional. So every week he has a different medical professional. We've had neurosurgeons on there talking about it. We've had endocrinologists, certified diabetes educators. Last week was a gal named Lindsay Venn. Now, Lindsay Venn is fascinating. I love Lindsay. I've actually been fortunate enough to meet her in person, and she's super cool, super knowledgeable. Lindsay is a physician's assistant. She's a certified diabetes educator. She is a board-certified registered dietitian. She is a coach and partner in Insulin IQ, that website that I'm always talking about. This one here, let's see. Yes. This website here. Yeah, that website up there. So she is a coach as well as a partner in that website. So she came in last week and did a rundown. And then at the end of it, the last 10 minutes of the call, Trent opens up the call for a Q&A where people can jump in and ask questions like, hey, why is my morning glucose higher than I think it should be? I'm struggling with losing this last 5 pounds. What can you do to help? Like any questions you have, you get to ask them to whoever that medical professional is. You know what I mean? So it really is a cool call. It's very inspiring. So I would definitely join that call when you can. So
I will.
well, I'm going to go ahead
I
and
definitely will.
I'm going to go ahead and wrap this call up. Christina, so I think do you know which pharmacist? Was it a guy or a gal? Christina's husband ordered the product through a pharmacist. I'm wondering if it was a guy or a gal. And I can't remember. It doesn't matter. There's two of them. Did you also did you join the Healthy Gals Facebook page, Justin? Yes, Dr.
I'm not
Jen,
on
that's what I was
Facebook,
trucking broad.
so I didn't.
Oh, you're not? Okay. Are you on any other media or just TikTok?
Let's see, Twitter, YouTube.
Okay.
That's about it.
So that Wednesday call, last Wednesday was the first successful pass at it. But last Wednesday's science call went out to my Facebook feed, my Twitter feed, my YouTube feed, and my TikTok feed. So anybody that wants to hear that call with Lindsay Venn can also just join my TikTok Wednesday afternoons or my YouTube, and you can watch it there as well. Also, if you wanted to go back and watch last Wednesday's call, it's still on my Facebook page. It's still on my YouTube page. It's still on my Twitter page. It doesn't, unlike TikTok, TikTok, when I'm done with the live stream, it pulls it down. On those, it leaves up. So anybody can go back and watch past Wednesday calls. So. All right, man. Well, I appreciate you jumping in here, Justin, man. It was really cool. I know it was impromptu. I appreciate your kind of do you have any, I guess, parting words or anything for anybody who's sitting on the fence?
Start it because it works immediately, I feel. Just start it.
I love that. 8 months. That is freaking cool. Really, really cool. I love it, man. I appreciate you coming in. And we're definitely going to get to know each other better. So cool.
Yep.
Thank you, Justin. See you, brother. Thank you. Bye. I think that's cool, man. It was really cool of him to join us in here. I feel at times like that's the best testimonial there is, right? So, okay, folks, is there anybody that wants to order the system but does not know how to? If you want to order the system and you don't know how to, type the word help in the comment section and I will know exactly what you are talking about. Otherwise, I'm going to go ahead and start wrapping this live stream up. Otherwise, I'm going to just wrap the live stream up. Pretty dang quiet today. Okay. For those who maybe Guy have Zoom meetings. Christina. Guy have Zoom meetings. I think there was a typo in that, Christina. Guy have Zoom meetings. Help. Okay, Marco. I'm going to do the easiest one. Oh, awesome, Christina. Awesome. I do have Zoom meetings. Actually, Christina, you mean like what they're doing on that? No, I don't. There's something we're working on. and it's going to be super, super cool. I am good friends. I'm close friends with a number of other content. Oh, let me address real quick. Marco, let me do this for you real quick. Okay, share this tab. Okay, Marco, if you take a screenshot of that, let me know. If you're unable to take a screenshot of that, Marco, and just say good to go or not, Marco. Okay, so let me see. Tanya, big old smiles. Are you talking about the Zoom calls, Tanya? Okay, so I don't have Zoom meetings yet, but I am close friends with a number of other, I'm going to call us content providers, right? People like myself. You may have seen them. Janine Patterson is a good close friend of mine. Casey McKinnon, Megan O'Brien, William Winterton. We're all good close friends. Ro, you've probably seen Ro on here as well. Okay, Marco, do you know how to get to my home screen? Do you know how to get to my home screen on TikTok? That would be the screen where you'd be able to sift through and look at all of my videos. Okay, great question. Okay, so Marco, here we go. I'm going to turn this thing off real quick. Okay, so that is probably what your screen looks like, right? You've got my live stream happening there. Oh, dang it. That camera is trying to focus. Okay, so you've got the live stream happening. Up in the upper left-hand corner, there is a picture of me. And it says The Healthy Pitmaster. Up in the top left corner, there's a picture of me. When you tap that picture of me, it will bring up this banner across the middle of the screen. When that banner comes up, there's another picture of me right there. Now, if you tap that picture, that will take you out to my home screen. When you're at my home screen, there is a link right underneath my bio. That link says Linktree/The Healthy Pitmaster. That link right there. When you click that, the very first link is my bio, or is the manufacturer's website. So, Marco, are you good with that? Okay, let me come back here. Okay, so what I was talking about, Christina, Andrew, I'm sorry. I want to try and help other people order the system at the same time. But Christina, so myself and a number of other content providers, well, it was Rose or Tanya's. You're welcome, Marco. Okay, you got it. Okay. We were on Rose live with Tanya, or we were on Tanya's live with Ro. We were on a live stream with the three of us, and my mind started just racing down this track. And I thought, hey, I want to take that Wednesday call and make it bigger. And what we've kind of come up with, but now I'm kind of struggling with an implementation portion of it, is doing a Sunday afternoon call with those same medical professionals, but more specific, more targeted, like doing a call that's just on high blood pressure, only talking about high blood pressure, or doing a call that's only about type 2 diabetes, or a call that's only about weight loss, and bringing in somebody like Shannon Davis, who is a registered dietitian. Wouldn't it be awesome to have a registered dietitian on a 1-hour meeting about what to eat, that sort of thing? Or having, we talk oftentimes about Alzheimer's disease, or diabetic neuropathy, pain, tingling, numbness in the feet. wouldn't it be great to have a neurosurgeon in when we're talking about that and do a 1 hour topic piece on that? So there's a group of us that are kind of putting together something like that. Everybody's agreed to it in concept. Now it's a matter of getting all of our schedules to align on a specific day, a specific time every week, and make this a consistent thing. But know that something like that is coming down the pipe, and I think people are generally pretty excited about that. Okay, so Tanya said if they ordered a 1 month and go to order again with someone else's link, they do need to use a different email or something like that. Already 108 pounds. Will I lose too much weight on this? No, Christina, you will. Your body's not going to keep on. You're not going to just whittle away. Your body's going to find where it needs to be. And at 108 pounds, I can't imagine you probably need to be much smaller than that. I've got a friend of mine who is Modi, which is similar to Lada, and very petite, sounds like you, similar to. So, okay. But yeah, send me a message, Christina, and I would love to have a conversation with you. Send me a message, a direct message, and we'll connect. Is that cool? Does anybody have any questions? And if you do, if anybody has any questions for me, please feel free to ask away. Otherwise, I am going to wrap this one up. I'm going to go live again. Probably I might take 15 or 20 minutes off. And then I'm going to go live again just on TikTok. I'm not going to go across all the different platforms. I'm going to go live again just on TikTok with my phone rather than the streaming service. I feel like the TikTok doesn't know how to send out my signal when I do the streaming service. So I'm going to go live again from my phone. So if you want to come back into that live in about 15 or 20 minutes, more than welcome to do that. Okay. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. I see people on Twitter. I see people on Twitch. Guys, I am on every major social media platform. Okay. If you can think of one, I'm on platforms that I don't even know about. Like right now, I'm live on D Live. I don't know what D Live really is, but I'm live on that stream right now. Mixcloud. I'm live right now on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, Facebook. I was on Instagram, but Instagram cuts it off at 1 hour. So we're live. I'm live right now on Rumble. Let me just tell you where I'm live at right now. What is this one? This one is, I forget what that one even is. I'm live on platforms. I don't even know what they are. Rumble, Twitter, Instagram, Mixcloud, D Live, Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. We're live on 10 different platforms right now. Actually 9 because Instagram shut it down. So after an hour. So we're live on 9 platforms. I post content to all of my different platforms daily. And it's different content depending on what the platform is, right? Mostly a lot of reposts. I do occasionally some new posts, but keeping up with that many different platforms can be a little bit overwhelming. So I'm normally just really sharing information from Dr. Bickman, Dr. Huberman, Dr. Mark Hyman, people like that. But you'll see different content on different platforms. So give me a follow on every major social media platform that you're on. Specifically at The Real Jim BBQ. Let me put that image back up here. If you look at that, it says you search for The Healthy Pitmaster, which if you look at whichever platform you're watching me on right now, it's The Healthy Pitmaster, right? Or at The Real Jim BBQ. It's funny, when I started my TikTok, I was Jim BBQ. That was my @ name was Jim BBQ. And then I went to start a Instagram and somebody already had it. So I had to change it to, and I was like, well, I'm The Real Jim BBQ. So I named it The Real Jim BBQ kind of as a joke. And now I can't change it. So at The Real Jim BBQ on all of the major social media platforms, search for The Healthy Pitmaster, but it's consistent across all of them. Okay. So give me a follow on those. And if you want, come back in about 15 minutes on TikTok. And I'm going to do another live stream from there again. Okay. Everybody, thank you for the follows. Thank you for, if you did like this content, if you do think that this needs to get pushed out, if you feel like this word needs to get put out to the masses, then do me a favor and just rejoin. Every time you join me, just tap the screen over and over and over again and try and get those likes up. I think we're at 2,000 likes on this live stream. My record is like 100,000. What up, Ro? Ro's coming in as I'm wrapping it up. But if you're not giving Ro a follow or Tanya Lee a follow, you should be. Give either of those two a follow. Okay, guys, I'm out.